What is up, everybody? J Nell here for my UFC 194 prediction video, and I'm going to try to get through this quickly because I'm going to talk about every fight. So, they're opening the card with Max Holloway taking on Jeremy Stephens. I like both fighters. They're both from the school of training with everything, not really specializing in one art. However, they both kind of taken a liking to aspects of MMA. Jeremy Stephens, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Max Holloway, the striking. Jeremy Stephens, I think, is going to be a bit bigger, even though Max is a few inches taller. Max is real slender. I think Jeremy is going to be a bit wider and thicker and a bit physically stronger. I'm going to give him the edge on the ground, although Max is no slouch on the ground, and they're both willing to sell out for submission, so it's close on the ground as well. On the feet, I'm going to give the edge to Max Holloway just because he's kind of a striker boxer hybrid now. If you want to know the difference, take a look at a Gustafsson or a Holly Holm. It's in the movement, the hand speed, the defense, and Max has, of course, the knees and the elbows, the MMA striking, but the movement he's developed, the lateral movement, the angles, the 7, 8, 9 shot combinations, the defense, the head movement, the shoulder roll. He's like a hybrid now. He's become a beautiful striker. It's a thing to watch. So I give him the advantage on the feet. This is a very evenly matched fight. Could be fight of the night. And it's pretty much my personal biasness picking for me. You know Max is my boy. So I'm picking Max Holloway. Now, next up, a fighter's fight here. We've been waiting for Demian Maia to take on Gunnar Nelson. Whose Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is best? Gunner's 27, Demian Maia's 38, and that big of an age difference is a factor for sure. I expect Gunnar to be stronger. I also expect him to be a bit bigger, wider, thicker as well. I think he's more comfortable on the feet, and so I give him the edge there. He's more of a power puncher. I think he has more diversity in his striking. He's, again, more comfortable. However, Demian Maia is no slouch on the feet. It's actually underrated. He's quick. He has a nice jab. And he doesn't really need to use his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all the time. So that's why I fear we could see a stalemate and see a stand-up battle. And I so don't want to see that. Not with these two. They're both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, and we want to see a beautiful grappling match. That's what I want to see here. I would give the edge to Demian Maia as far as who has the better skill. He's more accomplished, a multi-world champion. Both have come from great schools of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. However, we've never seen Gunnar against someone at this level. So who knows? When tested, maybe Gunnar is that good. I don't know, but we won't know until we see it. I just hope that we do. We may not, because we've seen this before. So we just, fingers crossed that we see a grappling match here. And I'm going to go with the young Gunnar. But I don't know. All right. Next up, we have Jacare Souza taking on Yoel Romero. And I was thinking, I know that Yoel Romero is an Olympic silver medalist, but they don't really blare it the way they do with like Henry Cejudo or DC, who doesn't even actually have a medal. And I was wondering why. I hope it's not because he represented Cuba in the Olympics and not us, or not the USA. Either way, I think it should be noted that he is an Olympic silver medalist in wrestling, by the way. And he is the better wrestler. I also think he'll be bigger than Jacare. Jacare is a bit taller, but he's a buff Jiu-Jitsu build, so it's more of a slender build. And Yoel has a big, boxy, broad shoulder, thick waist build, and I do think he'll be physically stronger and a better wrestler on the ground. However, Jacare is a world champion Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, and I think he's crafty enough to bait or trick or cause a mistake and get the submission victory. I actually think that that's his best path to victory, is to trick him into a submission, whether on the ground or on the feet. He's going to have to survive some barrages. Yoel is very aggressive with his boxing, and I do believe he hits harder, although Jacare has knockout power as well. They're very evenly matched here. This could be fight of the night as well. So Jacare is going to have to be smarter, and I do believe he is the more cerebral fighter. He's going to keep his calm, wait out those barrage of shots. You're going to have multiple of them, getting it into the later rounds, and I think he can take this. We know that Yoel has cardio issues as well, so I'm counting on Jacare to do the intangibles, to be smarter and more calm, and to get this victory, but I don't know. Now, co-main event, and we're seeing the UFC middleweight champion Chris Weidman take on Luke Rockhold. And this is his toughest test to date. This is a very evenly matched fight. I've been going back and forth. Let's talk about it. Luke Rockhold is a kickboxer first. He also has great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu submissions. They're both big athletes, and they're both very athletic. They're the type of guys who could basically be decent in every sport. They're like that. I would say that Luke is a more dynamic athlete. I would say that, he could jump a bit higher, a bit more agile, just a bit more dynamic with his athleticism. He's going to have to throw the kitchen sink at Chris Weidman, because Chris Weidman is so mentally strong that you're not going to confuse him. He's not going to bait him into a mistake. You're not going to get him frustrated or get him into a brawl. So I think you have to make Chris Weidman work. You have to make him work mentally. And to do that, you have to keep him thinking of everything. What is Luke going to throw at me? How am I going to defend it? What am I going to throw at him? Where are we in the octagon? How's my cardio? How's my breathing? I think you have to keep Chris Weidman thinking. You have to make his brain work. And then maybe something can seep through. As Anderson Silva says, one of the things he likes to do is throw a bunch of random stuff at his opponents to see how they defend themselves. So Luke, throw the kitchen sink at him. Maybe you can catch a pattern. Maybe you could see how he defends himself. Maybe he doesn't defend everything and a kick gets through. You kick someone in the head, who knows what happens? Maybe a punch gets through. Maybe a combination gets through, because you have him thinking of everything. He can't always catch everything all the time. You see what I'm saying? Chris Weidman, one of the most mentally strong fighters in the UFC. Wrestling, big, strong wrestling base, big, strong athlete, although I think he's going to come in smaller than Luke. I heard reports that he was already around like 197 a couple weeks ago, and that he thinks he can be faster than Luke. So I actually expect Luke to be bigger. But Chris Weidman's very strong, very good wrestler, very mechanically strong, hard to finish, KO power, and just he's like the Terminator. He keeps coming. Same pace from minute 1 to minute end. High offensive output. Do not let Chris Weidman get comfortable, because he won't get uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say Luke has to jump on him early and jump on him with everything. So to me, I believe that over time, Luke might get a little frustrated if he can't find some kind of chink in the armor. I believe he might get frustrated, and that works to Chris Weidman's favor. Safe bet, says Chris Weidman, and I'm going with the safe bet. But I don't know. Main event, and finally, the champ has come back. Jose Aldo, featherweight champion, taking on Conor McGregor, and in the words of Uriah Faber and ex-interim champion Carlos Condit, interim belts mean nothing, so he's taking on Conor McGregor. I probably already pissed off the McGregor nuts. Let's talk about it. Seems like we've been waiting for this fight for years. I'm super excited for it though still. Conor McGregor is a boxer first with excellent movement, punching, has KO power. He has the reach advantage, and he uses reach very well. Good judgment, good judge of distance. He's really mentally strong in fight. He reads his opponents well, can pick up on patterns and exploit it. He makes adjustments in the fight. He's creative in fight. He's very mentally strong in the fight. We don't know about his cardio, because we haven't seen him get into the later rounds yet, so I don't know about his cardio in the later rounds if he gets hit. We saw in the Chad Mendes fight that he can be taken down. Again, he's got inside of Aldo's head. We know that because Aldo has never acted like this before in his life. He's all over social media speaking more English than he's ever spoken. The press conferences, the interviews, talking trash. We've never seen this before. So he is in Aldo's head. How's that going to affect him? Is it going to distract him? Is it going to laser him in? I don't know. Jose Aldo's been the champ, is the only featherweight champ. He's been the champ for like 7-8 years now. Brazilian Jiu-jitsu black belt, but of course he's known for the Muay Thai and those amazing leg kicks, which he will need. Conor's a better boxer. He also has better movement. Jose has better kicks. I advise him to take away a wheel early. You better jump on one of Conor's wheels. And I advise him to wrestle, because Jose has some of the most underrated wrestling in the entire UFC. And I believe he can take Conor down. I do. And if he does, I advise him to work Conor's body. Work his body. Don't go head hunting. Don't just go for submissions. Get some knees to the body. Work elbows to the body. If you can get him on the ground, take some steam out of Conor McGregor. Some steam out of that movement. Steam out the punches, the quickness, all of that. Also, Conor's going to be talking trash to him in fight. So how is Jose going to handle that? Jose is going to have to keep his calm more than he's ever in his life. He's going to have a game plan and probably stick to it, but be willing to make adjustments. Also, Muay Thai fighters are very flat-footed because of the kicks. I advise him to take a note for Joanna Jędrzejczyk and have that gliding footwork, because you don't want to stand still or stand in front of Conor McGregor. So you might want to change up the footwork, glide, take away a wheel early if you can, take him down if you can, and work the body if you can. Be a smart fighter. He has the reach advantage. Be smart, Jose. Jose is actually the underdog, so I'm going to go with the unsafe bet, and I'm going to go with the champ. Oh no! All right. Let me know your picks. Let me know any injury updates. Hopefully there are none. I'm super excited for this. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I will have 15-second prediction and recap videos. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.